Welcome back to Smart Physical Workout, the channel where fitness meets smart training. Today, we're tackling an important topic that every athlete and fitness enthusiast needs to hear: exercise-related injuries and how to avoid them. Whether you're lifting weights, running, or doing high-intensity workouts, injuries can happen when you least expect it, and they can set back your progress for weeks or even months. But here's the good news. Most workout injuries are completely preventable with the right approach. In this video, we'll break down the most common mistakes that lead to injuries, share practical tips to stay safe, and show you how to keep training strong without unnecessary setbacks. So if you want to push your limits without breaking down your body, stick around, because this one could save you a lot of pain later on. It is safe to say that virtually all athletes endure the constant risk of injury. The reason is, of course, that they keep pushing their bodies more and more, and unless things are brought along at the correct pace and in the right manner, injuries are almost inevitable. The worst thing for a bodybuilder is not the pain of injury, although that can be unsettling, but the annoying inconvenience of not being able to train as you would wish. Even a small muscle strain can keep you away from an all-important exercise for many months. Weight trainers can incur injuries in the form of tendinitis, muscle tears, strains, sprains, or even bursitis or hernias. The point I would like made very clear is that with common sense and care, there is no reason why you should not enjoy a successful bodybuilding career utterly and totally free of injury. The biggest cause of injury to bodybuilders is probably carelessness, especially when trying to perform a near-limit lift. The show-off aspect to having a go is very conducive to sudden injury. Never be tempted to pick up a heavy dumbbell to heave it overhead. This can lead to a pinched nerve, which could cause you pain for years, with an almost immediate loss in muscle size in one arm. Warming up is an integral part of training. Never neglect it. Before you go into any exercise, you should do at least on set of 10 to 15 repetitions with about 50% of your limit for that number of reps. If you do not like the idea of performing a high-rep warm-up, then do 2 to 3 sets of lower-rep warm-ups, again using about 50% of your maximum. Another way of inviting injury is to neglect the importance of keeping in the groove. Let me explain. As we train, each of us develops a groove or line in which the weight travels. Take the bench press. The weight is invariably lowered to the nipple area of the chest. Year in, year out, you bench press in the same way. Your pecs build up. Your strength triples. But one day, while happily benching away with your regular poundage, you get the idea that maybe you should lower the weight to your upper pectoral. It seems an okay idea, so wham, ouch. Something tears. Hot needles in your chest. You've done it. A muscle tear. Why? Because you put all the stress from the pectoralis major onto the pectoralis minor, an area that just couldn't cope with that kind of resistance. When you get the idea that you want to change an angle or perform a new exercise, even if that change is minimal, you must approach it like a beginner. The bodybuilder who can bench press 300 must not change the groove. At least, not unless you are prepared to use only 1/3 of the weight. True, real strength will come quickly, but you can't force the issue without risking injury. The same goes for any change. You cannot suddenly do heavy incline presses if you have never done them before, even though you can bench press 500. If a new groove is to be forged, then begin with a light resistance and use regular and unhurried progression. You must take particular care in certain key exercises. The squat, for example. Always keep your back flat, head up, and lower slowly to the thigh parallel to floor position. Never bounce out of squat. Deadlifts should also be performed with a flat back, head up. Do not rebound the weight from the floor. When performing bent over rowing, keep your knees slightly bent, back flat. Actually, this is a deadly exercise because the lower back is awfully susceptible to strain when you use a T-bar rowing, or better still, single-arm dumbbell rows, where one arm can support your torso on a bench. You should also beware of alternating certain exercises. One can alternate biceps and triceps exercises, for example, or chest and back. But particular care should be taken not to alternate chest and shoulder exercises. The muscle arrangement of these areas is likely to lead to unnecessary injury if one is exercised after the other. Tendinitis, the inflammation of tendon, is another form of injury that can attack bodybuilders as well as tennis players, wrist wrestling champs, and house painters. Tendinitis can result from exercises which place a strategic joint in a vulnerable position. The single-arm tricep stretch exercise, when performed with heavy weights, is an excellent producer of this painful condition. It is sound policy to leave out any exercise which you suspect of causing joint or tendon problems. Either that, or limit the poundage used in such cases. Take special care to concentrate on good exercise form. Good exercise style guards against injury. So what is pain? It's the body's defense mechanism warning you that injury is occurring or has occurred. The pain of lactic acid buildup in the muscle is acceptable as you push your reps to the limit. But sharp, searing, hot needle pain is different. It means a real injury is occurring, and you must immediately stop what you are doing. Try to determine the severity of the injury. Apply ice cubes directly over the area of pain as soon as possible. This will help to reduce the swelling and inflammation. If the injury prevents you from moving your limbs in any direction, see your doctor. Competent professional help is always best, for even the smallest injuries can worsen, and in some cases they might become lifelong burdens. In most cases, a torn muscle or strain or sprain needs rest. Subsequent training must therefore not involve the affected area until it has healed itself. Then, with great caution, resume regular training, always mindful of the mistake that caused the injury in the first place. One helpful safeguard against injury, though no guarantee, is to practice some form of stretching exercise prior to beginning your workout. To get the fullest stretch, a muscle must be warm. Therefore, in cold temperatures, a sweatsuit must be worn. And that's it. Remember, injuries don't have to be part of your fitness journey. By warming up properly, focusing on technique, listening to your body, and progressing at the right pace, you'll not only prevent setbacks, but also build strength and resilience that last. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Smart Physical Workout, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on future training videos. Stay smart, stay safe, and keep pushing forward. Your strongest self is just around the corner.